Okay, so I want to share two dreams I had in the same night. I had many different dreams, but I just want to share two. And in one of my dreams, I was driving a car in a city, or what looked to be like a city. There were no skyscrapers. The buildings appeared to be maybe one or two stories high, but it wasn't residential. It was like a city. And as I was driving, I saw two objects falling from the sky, and I thought, oh my gosh, the prophecy about United States going to war is coming to pass. Now, this dream felt kind of real, like it felt like I was there. And the objects originally appeared to have a trajectory as if they were shot from the ground. But as I was driving, I noticed that no buildings exploded. So I originally thought they were bombs, but then I saw many other objects falling down. They were on fire, and there was smoke coming from these objects. And as I looked and observed, I was under the impression, or actually, I realized that, okay, I'm in a dream and I better pay attention to what's going on because I wanted to get the information. I had the understanding that God was showing me a vision in the dream, and so I needed to pay attention. Unfortunately, in my dream, I was driving a car, and so I wasn't able to look at the details because I didn't want to get in any accidents. But I noticed that just in sporadic places, rocks were falling from the sky. They were on fire, and trails were following these rocks. The rocks were about softball, baseball size, but the shape, they were not spherical. They were not ball size, or the shape did not appear like a ball. The shape was very rigid, um, different kinds of shapes, not any one particular shape. Some looked like an L shape. Some were just um, very bumpy all over. But they were falling like burnt charcoal in a way. I guess you can say like burnt charcoal falling from the sky. And as I was driving, I looked around and I came close to a building. The front of the building was glass, and there was a bridge overhead. Um, I don't know how to explain this bridge. It wasn't a bridge so much, it was more like a connector from a street that is above. Like the street I was on was like a lower level down, and the street to the right side of me was up above, but because it was on a hill, they they constructed the street to be at a higher level. And in order for people to come from that street, they would use this bridge to cross over, like an overpass, and then they would walk down the stairs to get to the street where I was at. And um, right next to this overpass was a building, a glass, it had a glass front, and I saw two Caucasian ladies, and they were slightly bouncing up and down. And I thought that they were worried about the objects that were falling from the sky. I thought they were meteorites, and I thought they were talking about their car being damaged from the meteorites. But as they turned and I was able to see their faces, because at first I wasn't able to see their faces, they were smiling and they were just jumping up and down as if they were dancing and unaware that meteorites were falling outside. But the area I was in at this time, it appeared as if there were no meteorites falling. Um, I remember somewhere in the dream, I was thinking I better drive somewhere so that the car can be covered and not damaged from the meteorites falling. But I was also aware that this was a dream and that I needed to observe what was happening. But then, after that scene with the two Caucasian ladies um, jumping up and down as if they're dancing and excited about something or happy, the scene shifted. I went to another part of the dream, but I'm not going to bring that part up. Um, but the other part that I do want to talk about, um, I will not give the details, but I just know that I was on the stairs waiting for two employees to clock out. And when it was my turn to clock out, I reached into my pocket to get my badge. But while I was doing that, two pennies or a few pennies, I don't know how many pennies fell out of my pocket. It wasn't much. But the thing is, I had a thing for collecting wheat head pennies because um, I just knew that they would be valuable one day. And so I would originally leave those pennies down, but because I was thinking, oh no, are they the two wheat head pennies that I had in my pocket? So I went to go check, and there was a man, and he was getting ready for work. His skin was kind of, his clothes or appearance was kind of grungy, I guess, because while the others worked in offices, business casual, he probably worked as a mechanic where they're exposed to oil or different things that will make you dirty. And so he says, "Oh, your pennies are here," and he helped me gather my pennies. And he had two stacks of pennies. And he said, "Oh, those are mine," but he said it politely. And I said, "Oh, yes, I know." I let him know that I knew that those were his, but I just wanted to find my pennies. And as I look on the floor, I see a wheat head, but it looked like an imprint on the ground. But while I saw that, I saw a dime. The dime had like a sailboat on it. It was a silver coin. And as I saw that, I looked underneath the time clock, and there were many various other types of coins. Many of them didn't look to be US coins. And while I checked throughout those coins, I grabbed a couple that were silverish, silver in color, and they were old coins from another country. And I thought, wow, there's coins here from another country. And the guy was like, oh, that's nice. I don't remember what he was doing after, but um, yeah, I just started to look through the coins, and then I realized that there was a line of other employees behind me waiting for me. So I apologized and said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I moved out of the way. But this guy who was standing at the time clock, he was getting ready for work. He was different from the other people who were standing in line. The others, they were just going about their day, just waiting till it was time to clock out or to clock in. While he was getting ready, he was putting on his gear for work, and he was kind of graunchy or oil or kind of not as neat, dirty, I guess you can say. But he was very polite and mannerable, respectful, and very helpful. And he was interested in the same things I was interested in because he was collecting his pennies, his stack of pennies, and I was collecting coins as well. And so when I woke up, I thought, okay, um, I believe God is showing something about meteorites, um, that there's going to be like maybe gravel or sand type rock type things falling from the sky soon, and they will be on fire because in my dream they were on fire. And the other dream with the coins could be that one day these coins, these old silver coins from other countries, are going to have value. So um, just keep that in mind. Also, the guy, he was oiled up, He was interested in collecting coins too, things that were relating to finances. And so I know people are talking about oil, so keep that in mind as well. So, oil, coins, and meteorite shower. And that is it. Okay, goodbye.